In every school, there are parents and teachers who step up to serve as leaders. Thank you. Anybody who's in that kind of position needs to understand how the education system works. Ed100 is here to help you with that. Ed100.org is a free crash course that helps you understand California's education system on purpose and fast. It's free, available in English and Spanish, and it works on a computer, phone, tablet. Each lesson takes about 5 minutes to read, and it includes one brief question, a quiz. When you pass all the quizzes, you'll earn your completion certificate, joining hundreds of others as Ed100 graduates. Ed100 has lots of fans, including the president of the California State PTA, who calls Ed100 a guide no parent should be without. The Ed100 course is organized into 10 chapters that fit together in sequence. The rest of this video summarizes the main points of the lessons in Chapter 1. I hope this will inspire you to sign up, read the lessons, pass the quizzes, and go on to become an Ed100 graduate. Lesson 1.1 starts with the obvious. California's education system is really, really big. This is a state of about 40 million people. The system is enormous, but it has to be personal at the same time. It has to work for each student. Unfortunately, it doesn't. There is strong evidence that California's students are behind. The measuring stick for education systems in America is the nation's report card. Insiders call it the NAEP. A small sample of 4th and 8th graders take the NAEP exam, the NAEP exam, which tests if they can understand written material and solve basic questions using math. There are patterns of huge differences in the scores on these tests, usually called achievement gaps. Compared to other states, California has a higher proportion of students from segments that tend to be on the low side of those gaps. Lots of students in poverty, lots of students learning English. Here's the thing though, California's scores are low across all definable segments: Black, white, Latino, Asian, poor, not poor. Comparing like to like, the NAEP tests show that California students start behind and end behind. The low scores in California aren't just a those kids challenge, they're an all kids challenge. California students are behind. Lesson 1.2 backs up the camera. How do America's students compare to the rest of the world? There are 2 international tests, PISA and TIMSS, that make this comparison. America's scores are on the low side in both, relative to other developed countries. Worldwide, poverty rates and test results tend to match up. Where education results are weak, poverty tends to be high. This connection is part of the reason why governments worldwide invest in free public education. Wherever countries improve education results, the economy grows, lifting more people out of poverty and building the tax base. All over the world, countries are improving their schools and rapidly expanding their college systems. There are far more college students in China than there are in America, for example. As economies grow, they change in ways that tend to require education for economic well-being. In 1975, the total value of the U.S. economy was defined mostly by the value of tangible assets, like coal or trucks. But today, most of the value of the economy is made of intangible stuff like brands or software or know-how. This inversion has contributed to a massive concentration of wealth and has made education increasingly important. In a knowledge economy, you need knowledge. School's where you acquire it on purpose. And that's kind of the plan for most everybody. Go to school, learn what you need to know to find your niche in the world and earn your keep. The education system isn't flawless, of course. Some students drop out, for example. Students don't tend to drop out of school as a choice. Stuff happens and they just stop coming. The students that drop out are not random. Disproportionately, they're African American, Latino, and living in poverty. Some of the kids that drop out, especially boys, end up breaking laws and causing harm. That's bad news in all kinds of ways. A year of prison in California costs the public about 7 times as much as a year of school. When kids don't get the education they need, everyone loses. As so often happens, though, it's hard to find the money to pay for preventive investments. The system really isn't set up for it. It's an expensive, systemic misfire. The education system really depends on parents to serve as guides and advocates for their kids. Unfortunately, parents often have no idea when their kid is off track. The vast majority of parents of small children believe that their kids will graduate from high school and go on to a 4-year college. In reality, only about 30% of students earn a bachelor's degree. Rates are considerably lower for all the usual groups. This epidemic of wishful thinking stems from simple cognitive biases. Teachers, parents, and students all really want to believe the best, that their education is on track, even when it isn't. Standardized test scores are deeply unpopular, but they're an essential tool precisely because they're impersonal. A low score should be viewed as a call to action. It's important to note that California's education results have improved a lot over time. There's a long way to go, but the direction is right. From test scores to attendance to college-going rates, California is improving. If this surprises you, you aren't alone. It's human nature to take gains for granted. The education system in California has changed a lot over time. 100 years ago, a quarter of children in the U.S. didn't even attend school. It wasn't mandatory in all states until 1918. Schools are a big part of society, and societal changes are reflected in what schools are expected to provide. A great example is the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik, which led to an explosion of interest in technical subjects in American schools, spurred research and investment into the use of tests. The purpose of public education has shifted and expanded over time. Above all, public education is a big startup investment in each person. It's our nation's most optimistic government program and a foundation of the American dream of a diverse, peaceful, democratic society where every child has a fair shot no matter what. Well, that's it for Chapter 1. Visit Ed100 to learn more and take the quizzes to work toward your Ed100 completion certificate. Chapter 2 will delve into the facts and challenges of California's diverse student body, as well as the critical role of parents.